Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with daily technical update. It is Thursday the 17th of July. This video is for educational purpose only. There's no recommendation or advice whatsoever intended. Today we'll start with Amazon. Amazon has formed a kind of a top and reversal pattern. We had a doji here the day before yesterday on Tuesday, and yesterday, Wednesday, we had a bearish candle closing below this steep rising trend line there. It could be an indication that we have a top and reversal in place, at least short term. We also have RSI divergence indicating trend exhaustion. So next key support here, 218.40, and that should be observed. However, we have the 55 that has broken above the 200 moving average, indicating underlying medium and longer term trend. So I think it will be just a fairly short correction if it takes out the peak there at 227.27 from the day before yesterday. Uptrend is likely to resume. And if looking at the weekly chart, well, we can see it's also in a bullish trend and bullish sentiment, and there's no divergence indicating likely higher levels, but the correction is likely to kick in. The meta is also interesting as it's closed yesterday below the support we talked about a few days ago at 708.87, and we could now see a correction down to around 680, 681 support. On the overall indices, well, we have Nasdaq 100 that more or less was showing change yesterday, but a lot of volatility intraday. Sold off and then it bounced. A lot of tariff talk, a lot of inflation talk, and a lot of yields or interest rates talk. So that's really what is worrying the markets at the moment. We have Nasdaq here pre-market seems to be trading at about 0.25% higher, indicating a likely higher opening later today. On S&P 500 yesterday, it tested the minor support here at 6,200, and pre-market it also bounced a little bit. The Dow Jones index, here's the cash index, actually closed below its minor support the day before yesterday, but it has bounced back above it, and it wasn't that strong anyway. But it tells you that we are a little bit stressed. However, there's no divergence on the RSI on the Dow Jones index, indicating likely higher levels after a correction. In the Asian session this morning, markets set back a little bit. We have Seng that got rejected the day before yesterday. Well, actually, what it was yesterday, sorry, at 24,875, the previous peak here. So that would be key towards the next few days. It really needs to close above that level to push higher. On Nikkei, well, it bounced from the 38.2 retracement here at 39,881. If it takes out and closes above 40,120, then expect a new all-time, or not necessarily not all-time high, but a new high. In Europe, we had the EuroStoxx50 that has opened higher today, just a little bit of a bounce today after the past few days bearish market. Bouncing here, trading around the 55 moving average. There's positive sentiment on the RSI, and for now there's no divergence indicating we could see higher push here in the coming days and weeks, but key resistance here at 5,468. And just to have a look at the CFD that yesterday bounced from the 61.8 retracement at 5,287 and could bounce here the next couple of days. The DAX index, well, also a little bit lower yesterday, but have bounced. You can see it open here yesterday from the 38.2 retracement. Spiked, it did just spike below for 24,000, but we're still in a positive sentiment and no divergence indicating likely higher levels. The CFD we can also see is spiking here higher, and I will actually push that over here and say we have some support here, 23,921. On euro dollar, a lot of volatility here yesterday below and then above and then back below the rising trend line, and now it seems to be sliding lower towards the 786 retrace and 115.28. Could test it later today. You can also see how the RSI values are declining here. Key will be, will it close below 40 threshold or not? If it does, well, then there could be further downside potential. Key support here at 114.65 and the 55 moving average coming up. Sterling dollar, well, just above the 133.55 support here. A lot of volatility there yesterday. Will it take it out and close below? The RSI is indicating that it will, but let's see if it does. Well, then there's not really much stopping it until around 132, apart from the 100 moving average coming up there. If it moves back about 135.20, then I think we will see uptrend to resume. Euro sterling, well, it spiked yesterday to the 138.2 projection at just below 87, and then it sat back. And so it seems a little bit stretched here. I would be in a waiting position. I want to see it take out the peak from yesterday to if it was me, to enter. This is not a recommendation or advice whatsoever, to go long. Key strong support down here around 86. Dollar yen, a lot of volatility on yesterday. There are also, of course, due to the dollar volatility. We had the day before yesterday where it closed just above 148.65 resistance, then back below, and now it's testing once again. I think we can see it crawling higher towards 150, where we have the 200 moving average kind of putting a little bit of a lid on it. But then we have 151 and a quarter key resistance up here that could be reached. Euro yen looks very choppy. It's actually formed a little bit of bearish engulfing there, taking out the previous day candle body. So we are in a stretch situation. We can see that the RSI declining. If it moves back below 170.80, well, then I think we are in for a larger correction. Aussie yen spiked to the 97.33 resistance area, which we have talked about for so long, and now we got a setback. Excuse me. And what we can do, we can just move this one a little bit on the side until it takes out the peak again, and then I'll say, okay, we probably have a correction that could take it down to at least the 95.75 support, possibly spiking down to 95.20, which is the 38.2 retracement. Sterling yen still in this channel here. Key resistance just around 200. Aussie dollar this morning, a massive sell-off has hit it and taking it below 64.85 support. I think we'll see it down to 64.35.40 support here, but could spike lower depending on what will RSI do here. Will it close below 40 threshold or not? Will it bounce? And if it bounces, I think we will see it down there to around the 64.35 area, and then I think we will see a bounce. So that will be key. Will it close below, and will RSI close below 40 threshold? That should be your concern if you're into Aussie dollar. The dollar Canada tested and spiked just above the 786 retracement and the 55 moving average that is coming down here. It can be a bit of a struggle, but I think if it takes out the peak from yesterday at 137.56, then I think we could see it push up to 138.35-ish area. Key here will also, of course, be RSI. What will it do? If we are sliding back below 136.35, downtrend is resuming. Sterling Canada, also a lot of volatility, but didn't really get anywhere. Still in the cloud, so in a bit of a neutral position. I'm a little bit cautious, so it can still dip to 183 and maybe even below. But it needs to get back above 185 for uptrend to resume back above the cloud area there. Euro Swiss, oops, sorry about that. Euro Swiss, well, it actually opened yesterday below the support here around 93. Then it actually had buyers coming in and actually forming this bullish engulfing, taking out the past the previous days of bearish move. 38.2 retracement, 93.43. I think we could see it being tested, but we see all the moving averages declining, so there's still the risk to the downside. If it takes out the lows from yesterday at 92.90, then I think we'll see a push down to 92.50, 92.20. Dollar Swiss in a bouncing mode. spiked a lot above the 50% retracement of this downtrend here. Could test the 61.8 retracement at 80.84, even spiking up to the 786 retracement at 81.42, where we also have the 55 moving average coming down. And it will again be key where will RSI, what will it do here when it possibly hit 60? Will it be rejected or close above? Dollar index, well, spiked higher to the 55 moving average, just a few pips below, trying it again today. See how it's flirting. RSI is flirting with the RSI 60. If it closes above, well, then there's potential up to 99 and possibly higher. Key strong support here. Resistance in 99.34 and some really strong resistance up here just above 100, 130, 174. Really strong resistance. If RSI closes above 60 threshold, that'll be key. If it's sliding back and takes out 96, 95, downtrend is to resume. Gold, well, another intraday movement, but didn't really get anywhere. Still flirting with this rising trend line there. It's testing the 61.8 retracement at 3,373 a couple of times now. Key strong resistance at 3,400. If it closes above that, then I think we'll see uptrend to resume. You can also see the RSI being rejected here. It's a falling trend line. That is also key. It needs to close above, and it needs to close above 60 threshold for bullish or positive sentiment and bullish trend. So I think we could actually see gold sliding back. I'm not sure we will test the 3,245 key support, but it's something that should be observed at least. Silver has sat back, bounced a little bit yesterday. It's still in a bullish trend, but the RSI is not really confirming this. So I would wait to see if it actually starts moving up above $39 again. And if it can do that, then the uptrend could resume. We are in a bullish trend, so trust the trend for now. But if it takes out the lows from yesterday, then we can see it sliding back to 36.75. On platinum, pushing higher here yesterday, very strong move. If it takes out 14.37, then there's room up to around 15.20. Copper, well, still in this corrective mood here. 542 is key support. WTI crude oil, well, not really doing much above the 100 moving average. It's declining. 200 we're below here, so we could be boxed in here for the foreseeable future, next few days at least, towards the weekend, unless some new major thing is hitting us in the Middle East. Key support is $64. We have the 55 coming up, giving some support, so it seems to be a boxed in there. We have the Brent crude oil, more or less the same situations here, between 71.50, 55 and the 66.30 level. The European nat gas that got rejected here at the 38.2 retracement, 36.38, setting back, trying to call higher. If it takes out that, well, then I think we could see a push up towards 38.70, but the 100 moving average will give a little bit of a hard time. So let's see about it. Still have a negative sentiment on the RSI, so it will be a little bit of struggle, but it could be that direction we are moving. The US nat gas, well, it is now above the 38.2 retracement, currently above the cloud. If it stays above that, well, there is some resistance here around 365, where we have the 100 moving average coming down, but we would be above the cloud. Key will then be RSI, can it close back above 60 threshold? If it can do that, then there's potential higher. Moving on to interest rates and yields, of course, they are interesting. The 10-year US Treasury yield is above the cloud. Positive sentiment on the RSI. We are above all moving averages, and more or less all of them, yeah, they are all now rising, indicating likely higher levels. 453 is next push, but I think there is potential up to the previous peak area here around 460, 465. On the European yields, well, A lot of volatility, but didn't get anywhere. We're still in this area around 270. This is the European 10-year. So little bit of indecision, but positive sentiment on the other side. 55 moving average indicating higher levels. So I think we will see higher yields also in Europe here fairly soon. The UK 10-year touched and spiked a little bit above the resistance there. I think it will take it out for real and close above, and then there's potential much higher towards 473 and 480 plus. Moving on to Bitcoin, really not doing much in this correction mode here after forming this shooting star-like top and reversal pattern. I think we could see a setback to 114, 112,000 before push higher. If it takes out the peak there, then there's potential much higher. The Ethereum has really pushed higher here yesterday. That is really taking out that is on the move. So we are back in these ranges around 3,500. There is potential higher towards 3,700 area short term. But we are a little bit stressed, but there's no divergence on the RSI. So it seems like we are pushing higher. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day and talk to you again tomorrow.